YouTube, what is up? Before we look at Diecast, which we will do, I want to talk a little bit about this house that I just made. So, I've decided I'm going to sell the car dealership, the river, and the overpass. All three of them. If you're local in Phoenix and you're interested, holler at me. I'm going to include the buildings, the car dealership, and the gas station. And I'm going to make a new layout that's going to be 2 feet by 4 feet. And I'm going to make one layout, and it's going to have 3 or 4 buildings, a water feature, probably a creek. It's going to have a dirt road, a paved road. I just want to consolidate everything into one. And I'm going to make all the buildings for it so that they can be proper S scale. Not that the HO scale buildings bother me. They don't bother me that much. I just want to be able to look at the layout and say that I made that. And I can't say that with buildings that I didn't make. But this house I did make. So it's not perfect, but I think it's adequate. I think it'll work for what I need. And if anything, I think it's probably a little bit too big. I got to make door handles for the 2 doors. And touch up a few things. I probably should weather. I only weathered this side a little bit. I could probably touch that up a little. But yeah, so that's what I did. I made this out of polystyrene sheets. So it's like a 8.5 by 11. Let's see if I can set this down. So this sheet here was like an 8.5 by 11, and the only reason I went vertical with the siding is because it was the only way that I could get all 4 walls out of that size of sheet. Otherwise, I would have done horizontal. Both ways work, and I think both ways look fine. I just probably would have preferred horizontal if I had the choice. The windows I made out of a Jada cellophane, but you could use anything. I mean, I'll probably use these. I mean, this is basically the same thing that I used. What I did, though, I went to a local train hobby shop to buy this sheet. It cost me about $3, and then you just I take regular paper and make a template for each wall, and really it's only 2, because if you do a building like this, which is just a ranch style house, then the wall opposite of this is going to match it, and the wall opposite of this is going to match it. So you just need 2 templates. If you do something more intricate, then you're going to need more templates. But there's more overhang over here because I'm going to be doing a porch once I get the layout done. So I'll have some pillars coming down and possibly a railing. I did that on purpose. The trim. So the door is the same sheet as this. By the way, these sheets are plastic. Okay, so they're pretty durable. But the door is the same material. It's just I used the back side to get a smooth surface. All the trim is made with this, what you see here, this little white thing, which is a polystyrene. So it's also a plastic. So it's much more durable. It's not more durable than the craft sticks, but it's scaled more accurately. And it's much easier to work with. And I think you get a much better result. So I used this for all the trim, all this stuff up here, as well as the trim around the roof. And then the chimney, I used the brick sheets from Hobby Lobby, which you do have to, detail the mortar. So I did that and painted the thing. And then the roof is also, so Hobby Lobby, they don't sell these sheets or the styrene strips, but they sell the brick sheets and they sell the this is just a diamond plated sheet, and I think it works just fine for the roof. Just, something with a little bit of texture on it. Here's what the brick sheets look like when you get them. There's two that come in a pack. They're like $6 or $7, and you can use your 40% off. This is the back of it. This is the color that it is when you buy it. I should have left it undetailed to show you guys, because I already whitewashed it to detail the mortar. That's the first step that you need to do before you build with them. I suppose you could build and then detail it. And you can see here with some older stuff that I have, I try to get as much of the mortar detailed as possible. Plus I like random white on some of the bricks, and I like some of them to be darker than others because that's realistic. And while this may look like a difficult process, it's actually quite simple. I just used an antique white paint, which is a little bit of an off-white, and I did put in a little bit of gray, and then you just water it down so that it runs, because you want it to run, you want it to run through each little crevice, because this is a three-dimensional textured plastic sheet. But it's great for making buildings. It is HO scale, so the bricks are going to be scaled a little bit small for S scale, but they work. So I'm going to make, actually right after I make this video, I'm going to make a garage. It's going to be a detached garage for this house, and it's going to be a little brick garage. Okay, so that's the house. That's where I'm at. I'm pretty excited about the new layout. I've got the wheels spinning in my head of ideas on how I'm going to do it, and it's going to be pretty intricate. I'm going to combine everything that I've done and everything that I've learned, and I'm going to apply all of it to make one final layout, and it's going to be the last layout that I make for a while. I am going to make some other layouts because I think I'm going to get a booth in Tucson next year in March and sell dioramas. Because I know there's a lot of other collectors that want them. And I figure if I can make 20 of them and, ask anywhere from 60 to 130 or so, depending on the size and the detail, then I think I'm going to try to do that, just so that other collectors can also have a layout for, whether it's for photographs or videos or whatever, or even just display. So if you're local in Phoenix and you want the car dealership or the river or the overpass, let me know and I'll send you a price. I'm going to be pretty firm on the prices, though. I think the prices are more than fair. And you have to keep in mind the buildings. I know the river doesn't have a building, but just the resin for the water by itself is like $12. So when if you're interested and you balk at the price, remember these take a lot of time and a lot of supplies. The overpass layout, I have 35 hours in that layout, so I'm not going to make any money on them, and I think the prices that I'm asking are more than fair. This car dealership building, if you were to go onto eBay, is about $25 to $30. The gas station on the overpass layout is a $75 building, so just keep that in mind if you're interested. So anyways, that's the plan. I'm going to get started on that probably in the next couple of weeks. I'm already kind of gearing up for it by making the house and the garage, and I obviously got a couple more buildings that I need to make. Probably maybe a gas station, maybe another car dealership building. I don't know. I really don't know, but I'll think of something. Anyways, this past week I got 2 boxes in the mail, and I found some really cool stuff actually at Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to start with a box from Andrew Jaremko. This was a trade, and of course he threw in extras, but I put most of the extras aside because I've been working here, so I haven't had room. So I'm only going to show the three main cars. This is one of them. This is a mini GT Nissan GTR. I've passed on this car many times because in the packaging it doesn't look all that appealing to me. But I have to tell you, when you get this car out, it's quite nice. It's very nicely done. And I didn't like the body kit, but when you see the rear quarter angle of this car, it's one of the best I've seen in 1:64 scale. This car has such a nice looking ass. I mean, look at that. That's just sick. Lens headlights and taillights. Look at the stance. Like the wheel in that rear fender, it just sits perfect. It's not in too far, it's not out too far. You got a little bit of the tread showing. It just looks so aggressive. And it's just an awesome looking car, so I'm super happy to have it. And those have climbed, when they came out they were like 12 to 15, and I think the GTRs are over 20 now. Mini GT only has 3 castings. They have the GTR, they have the Civic, and they have the McLaren. They have multiple colors of each one, but I'm only going to collect one of each. And I'm going to try to do the same thing with Inno 64. So the main part of the trade, well, before I show that, here's one of the extras. I do have one of them here. It's pretty dope. It's a little Tomica Nissan Pulsar. Really cool little car. I thought it was a Toyota MR2 when I opened the box and saw this was wrapped up in bubble wrapped. It kind of looked like the MR2. I got really excited for a second. I still like it a lot. It's a nice little car. And I like these older Tomica basics better than the new ones. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the wheels or what. I just think they look more realistic than the new ones. The main car of our trade was this, and I'm glad I got this because these things have been getting stupid expensive. It's a Greenlight Motor World Ford Taurus SHO in a very nice civilian deco. It's only come out a few times in a civilian deco. It's been out a bunch in the Hot Pursuit as police car, but to get one in a nice, not too dark of a color civilian deco is pretty awesome. The other plain model that I have is from Men in Black. It's like Hollywood Series 7 or something like that. And it's completely murdered out. It's black car, black interior, black wheels, blacked out head and tail lights. It looks sweet, but it's not what I would call a civilian model. But this one looks really good. For some reason, the Ford Taurus and the Ford Fusion have gotten pricey. So that's pretty dope. So thank you, Andrew, for the trade and the extras. Then I get another box from Diecast on Instagram, who I've kind of been hubbing for a little bit. And he posted a picture of 2 of these, and I asked him, basically I said, hey, what do you need for one of those? And he said, nothing, just your address. And so he sent me this, and he sent me 2 extras. It's only 3 cars, but it's about $100 worth of cars. It's very nice of him to do this. So I got this, which is a Series 9 County Roads. It was right before they went to country roads. I used to have the green machine of this, but I don't. Like, I only want regular cars. I want realistic looking cars, so I'm not real interested in green machines. And this is just such a hard one to find. That was awesome of him to send it to me. It was mint in the package, so I got to crack it open. And it's just a dope truck. I got 7 of these now. There's only a few that I'm missing. The other 2 cars that he sent are Tomica Limited Vintage. So here's one of them. This is the Isuzu Gemini. I don't think this one has the year on it. Let me see. Yeah, sometimes the box has the year, sometimes it doesn't. This one doesn't, but I used to have this car a couple of years ago and I sold it. And I'm at a point now with my Tomica Limited Vintage that I'm not going to be selling or trading anymore. I might trade TLV if it's for TLV. I've also stopped displaying my TLV. I pulled them all out of the carny and I'm putting them in a box. I'm going to store them the same way I do Auto World. These cars are so nice that, that'll just be like a little heirloom I'll pass down to my son at some point. Here's the other one he sent, which is a 1982 Toyota Corona in a very light green color. So I have this casting in white. The one that I have was billed as a 1985, and I like this one better, but I like the wheels on the 85 better. I do like these wheels though. Prototypical, as are the wheels on the Gemini. Tomica Limited Vintage is such a great brand to collect. Look at these taillights. Just killer. So I'll pull these out from time to time for photographs and videos. But for the most part, they're going to be stowed away. Okay. Now I'm going to get to the stuff that I found. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's only 5 cars. Is it only 5? I thought it was 6. I feel like I might be missing one. Oh yeah, it is 6. So 6 cars that I found at Hobby Lobby the last few days. So let me get this out of the way. I'll start with this Montana Highway Patrol Ford Crown Vic. I love the deco. I have made the decision to start getting a little bit more aggressive with the Hot Pursuit because they tend to increase in value more than any other Greenlight stuff right now. So this is an awesome car. Super happy to have it. Crown Vics are nice from Greenlight. They always nice rollers. They don't have lens headlights or taillights, but the tampos are pretty nice. Some of the tampos can almost look like lenses. So that's a pretty sweet little car. And I actually grabbed another one from Blue Blood's Hollywood series, but it's still based on an actual police car. And I don't have an NYPD Crown Vic. I have the Ford Explorer, I have the Chevy Cruze, I have the Dodge Charger. I even have the NYPD International truck, but I just never have gotten a Crown Vic, so I had to have that. Pretty sweet casting. And it's a very low number, number 39. All right. Here's another one. So I saw on Instagram a couple days ago, someone took the actual Smokey and the Bandit car I don't know if it was the actual car or if it was just a replica, but it was a full life scale, 1-to-1 scale of the brown Smokey and the Bandit Pontiac Le Mans. And after seeing that and seeing this casting, Greenlight actually did a really good job on this Pontiac. It's pretty close to the actual car. The stance is much more accurate than I originally thought. And the scale and proportions are pretty close to true. But I like this one because this metallic blue is really cool, and you don't see a lot of metallic paint on police cars. So this is the Nevada Highway Patrol. And I don't think, yeah, 1500. All right, so now we get to the cool stuff. So this is also from the Hot Pursuit, same Hot Pursuit series as the Montana and Nevada cars. This one's relatively low. It's number 230. But this is the Utah State Highway Patrol. It's a 2017 Dodge Durango. This is a new tooling for Greenlight. I love it. It looks as good, if not better, than the Ford Explorer. They did go with lens headlights and taillights. I wish that it were a civilian deco, but I'm just happy to have the tooling. Greenlight, it doesn't look like they're going to do lens headlights and taillights on the new 2019 Silverado. Someone had asked me how I feel about it, and I don't like the idea of not having lens headlights and taillights. I would prefer that they do, but I would rather them do a great job on a casting that doesn't have lens headlights and taillights like this than to actually have lens headlights and taillights and the casting not look good. So I don't ever judge a casting by the picture, because I've seen too many that look awesome in the picture, and you get them in person and they look awful, or they look awful in the picture and you get them in person and they look awesome. So I just wait. I wait until I get them in hand before I make my critique. I mean, I'll tell you what I think it looks like in the picture. Like the 240Z did not look good. I don't think the 510 looked all that great in the sample pics, but I love the 510 casting. Anyways, so that's a cool casting. I'm really happy to have this Dodge Durango. I wish that this top was not removable. I wish it were a fixed top. Okay, this next car is so sick. I'm so glad I found it. It's number 611. It came from Barrett-Jackson Series 3. So that series, there's no list. I don't know what the other cars are, but I think there's a Pontiac GTO. I think there's a Dodge Charger. Anyways, here's the one that I got, and I absolutely love it. Johnny Lightning has done this exact car in this exact deco. But this one here is by far, the nicest 1969 Camaro that I've seen in 1/64 scale. And it's in a very nice deco, very nice livery. The wheels and tires look killer. The way they're tucked up there underneath the fender looks so proper. That is a bitching car. Lens taillights. So on this car, the front grille is interchangeable, so you have painted headlights. But they do give you the lens taillights. This is only the third example of this casting that I have. I have the Gulf Racing one. It's like a burgundy color. And then I have the primer gray one from Bad Boys. But this one here is easily my favorite. I love the spoiler delete. You know, it just gives the car a more organic, natural look, not having the spoiler. That just looks so killer, man. I love it. I'm so happy I found this. The last car that I found, come on. So this is Greenlight Muscle. I said I wanted a nice civilian deco. This is a very dark color, so it's probably not going to video well, but this thing looks so good. It's just a great looking car. So it's a metallic flake black. It's almost like a metallic charcoal color. And then it's got the red rally stripes. Now, this one over here is a stock Pursuit trim. This one here is the SRT 396, I think it is. 392. So when we bought my wife's Avalon back in October, we bought it from a Dodge dealership. And right next to our salesman's desk in the showroom, they had one of these 392 SRT Dodge Durango. The thing had a $65,000 price tag on it. Insanely expensive. And I kind of balked at it. And the salesman was like, "Well, that's a race car. What do you want?" It's kind of funny. I think he was from back east. I'm like, 65 grand for a Dodge? He's like, that's a race car. What do you want? I'm like, geez, for 60 grand you can buy an Escalade. You can almost buy a Land Cruiser. Yeah, but that's a race car. Those cars aren't that fast. This thing will throw you in the seat. He's kind of funny. Anyways, this is a great looking casting. I love the lens headlights and taillights. I wish it were a lighter color. I wish it were silver, honestly. But I do like the SRT trim. And mark my words on this, collectors. This one here in 2 years is going to be one to have. You're going to look in 2 years at what this one sells for, and you're going to say, damn, I should have bought that. Because this one is going to climb in value, just like all the other SUVs that they do. You know, try finding a Ford Explorer for under $15. A civilian model, not a police model. You know, try finding these Ram Chargers in civilian deco for under $15. You can find the new ones, but not the old ones. So, anyways, that's my video, guys. Some really cool diecast that I have been lucky to receive in the mail and find. I'm happy that I have found a few things lately because it's been a while since I found anything out in the wild. And Greenlight, man, they just have so much more awesome stuff on the way out. So you got to keep up or else you get behind. I do have some other pretty cool new Greenlight releases that are on the way. So when they arrive, I will show you. Until then, thank you for watching. I'll keep you guys posted on the new layout. I'm probably not going to start on it until the end of March. I'll start sooner if I'm able. But I really look forward to building it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to put a lot of time into it. The only parts of the layout that I'm not going to make by scratch or from scratch is the telephone poles and the accessories. But all the buildings, all the trees, not all the trees, the vast majority of the trees I will make. I will use a few of the store-bought trees, like the pine trees and these. But the big, like the main trees I'll make. Like I made all these. And I'm going to make the buildings because I just want to be able to look at it and say, I made that. So once again, if you're local in Phoenix and you're interested in either the dealership, the river, or the overpass, message me on Instagram and I'll message you a price and we can meet up. I'd like to sell them soon so I could get them out of the way to make room. So, thanks everybody for watching. Happy hunting. And of course, I will holler at you all at the next Diecast video.